What I'm about to say will do one of two things: either totally deflate you or completely charge you up. Every day, 7 days a week, thousands of small YouTube creators quit. That's right, they give up. And the stats are pretty shocking. About 60% don't make it past 10 videos. Around 80% give up at 30 videos, and by the time they've made it to 50 uploads, only 10% have survived. This is because YouTube is hard, but not in the way you might be thinking. What I mean by hard is that it takes something that most people don't have the patience for. But before I go there, let's talk about the YouTube algorithm. As a computer scientist would tell you, algorithms don't understand content. They react to what are called signals, which are defined as measurable feedback from user behavior. So on YouTube, the signals are things like click-through rate, watch time, average view duration, retention graphs, likes, comments, and of course, subscribers. These signals tell the algorithm who the video is for, how long they watched it, and whether to show it to more people. And what so many small creators forget is that your channel needs to go through this conditioning period. It needs user feedback, way more than most people realize. And in that time, it's so easy to get discouraged, to compare yourself to other channels, or just run out of patience. And there's always a period where the algorithm has to get conditioned. And to you, the creator, this is an invisible thing. You can't see it happening, and you have no idea if it's working. But I can tell you, it is. So let me explain what happens to a channel before your big breakout, and more importantly, how to survive it. Now, I've been through this myself in working with other people and in building my other channel over the last 3 years. And the only thing that makes this easier for me is that I understand what's happening, and I know it's by design. But yes, it takes an incredible amount of patience and trust in the process. So that's why, if you're serious about this whole YouTube thing, you shouldn't give up too early. And no matter how many times I go through this process, it always takes time. Success is not immediate. For 99.99% of creators, you're not going to hit the algorithm jackpot on your first video. That's called going viral. What this means is your content probably is as good as you think it is. It's simply taking YouTube a while to figure that out and to then match it to the right audiences. Back in my 20s, I had a job on the 7th floor of an office building, and right outside my window, they were constructing another office building. For 12 months, nothing happened above the ground level. No floors, no windows. It was this 40-foot hole with these huge steel pylons that went down into the ground. I'd watch the tractors and concrete trucks and welders building this whole framework with the elevator shafts kind of in the middle. From an outside perspective, at the ground level, it looked like nothing was happening. Driving my car out of the parking lot, I couldn't even see that anything was there. But underground, everything was happening. Steel beams and concrete forms, making it strong for all the weight that wasn't even there yet. And this is the part most people miss with YouTube. They quit too early because they think nothing is happening. But that's only true if you don't understand the perspective. If you don't have the right foundation, the building can't be very high. So, in 12 months, the workers have the framework built up to the ground level, and then something crazy starts happening. They build one entire floor of this office tower in about a week, and the next floor the second week. It goes up 20 stories in like 6 months. I use this analogy because when it feels like you're working hard and getting nothing back, when no one notices, when there's no feedback, no comments or likes, 47 views after 30 days, that doesn't mean it's not working. It just means you're still below the ground. And when the building finally rises, it goes fast because the foundation is complete. Where it's frustrating is you spend every day obsessing about your channel, how to make it better, and how to improve the quality. But the algorithm needs time to do its job because it's analyzing millions of different channels and slowly collecting data on each one. It's looking at the SEO, the transcripts, and the performance with the viewers. And every so often, it'll show the content to more people than normal in a short burst to collect a bigger data set, but it still takes time for that to happen. All the while, the established channels have already gone through this whole process. They'll get priority because their content has already been considered. Heck, on this channel, my first video got 12 views in the first 48 hours, and the second one got 16 views. But I didn't freak out because I have a strategy and I know this is all part of the plan. So, your videos with only 47 views are not failures. They're your foundation. Every video you make is building on top of that. Every person who watches it is more concrete and steel, reinforcing your channel. Every comment and share is making you rise faster. Just like the office building, you're creating something that takes time. And the hard part is not being able to see the process until 12 months later. I've had multiple videos that just sat there with 100 views for months, and then one day they take off. They suddenly find an audience, and it's hard to explain. Sometimes the topic will start trending, or maybe a title or thumbnail change triggers how people react to it. I had this video about being a night person that did okay, but then the word night person started trending last year, and I started getting thousands of views. And none of this is uncommon. It's normal. This is the almighty algorithm at work. One of the big misconceptions is that the algorithm somehow punishes small creators, and this just is not true. The algorithm punishes channels that don't give it clear signals. See, the algorithm has one job: to match videos with the viewers most likely to watch them. And I know I'm saying this over and over. Be patient. YouTube doesn't care if you have 50 subscribers or 50,000. What it cares about is whether the people who watch your videos enjoy them and engage with them. Do they watch until the end? Do they like and comment and share? Do they watch more of your videos, and do they read your posts? When starting out, YouTube is running experiments with your content. It shows your video to a small sample of people, and if they engage, it shows it to a larger sample. And when viewers don't engage correctly, it stops expanding it to larger samples. One of the best speakers at Vid Summit was this guy who works for YouTube. He said, "The algorithm is not a mystery. You need to find an audience, connect with them, and then you need to reach more of them." What's so hard for small creators is the cause and effect of what's working and what's not. Your video might have 47 views, but that doesn't mean it's failing. However, we start freaking out, right? The hook flopped, my shirt was the wrong color, my skin was too shiny, or whatever. The thing to take away here is this process isn't hours or days. It's weeks to months, even years, like in my case. And if you want to talk about this much deeper and even have me take a look at your specific channel, click the link in the description and let's set up a 30-minute one-on-one to go over what might be going on. Another thing I talk a lot about is consistency, but not in the way you might expect. The most important form of consistency isn't uploading on some regimented schedule. It's consistently showing up and playing the long game. 80% of creators quit by their 30th video. They spend all this time building the foundation, and then they abandon the project when it's time to build the first floor. But here's what happens when you don't give up. Number one, your skills constantly improve. Each video is better than the last, and you're always learning something new. Better sound, better lighting, better camera angle. Number two, you're building a following, no matter how small it feels. In my last video, I talked about the power of one. When I started my primary channel, I didn't get a single comment for months. I had like 12 long-form videos uploaded, and I remember I was kind of depressed, wondering if this whole YouTube thing is worth it. And then late one night, a guy makes a comment about something in one of my videos that you would only ask if you'd watched all the videos and were paying close attention. That moment lit me up. It motivated me. He told me my videos had helped his business, which helped his family. I remember I almost had a tear in my eye. And that's the power I'm talking about. The power of building a following. Number three, your collection of videos grows, increasing your discoverability. Every video you upload is compounding the opportunity for SEO and for people to find you. Number four, the algorithm is working, collecting more data about who's the best match for your channel. And here's what I see. It's often video 25 or 35 or 45 that finally gets you into real momentum. Not because video 35 was dramatically better than video 10, but because you've proven yourself. So, how do you actually survive long enough to get to that place? And by the way, thanks for watching up to this point, because this is really what I want people to remember remember here. Number one, have a clear definition of what success means to you. From the very beginning, is it views, subscribers, or business leads? Maybe it's the skills you're developing, the stories you're telling, or even how consistent you are. Maybe it's connection to the audience you're building. Maybe it's to prove something to someone. Like for me, it's about the lessons I can teach to my kids. Number two, have a strategy. This is so important. Like I talk about here in my videos, have your target persona and value statement dialed in so you know what you're moving towards, how you're going to help people, and how to condition the algorithm. Number three, create with intention. Don't just copy other people or follow the trends. Decide what value you are providing that no one else can. Even in big niches like this one, how to grow on YouTube, your unique perspective is your advantage. For me, it's that I don't send you an outline and then outsource the training to some 20-year-old kid who's following a script. We work together one-on-one to develop the plan and strategy that you can go execute on. And because I have 30 years of business experience, I will understand your situation and perspective. Number four, embrace the process. Learn to love what you're doing and keep the focus on who you can help. My first comment, that guy that ramped up his business and provided for his family, that charged me up. I remember after seeing that, I stayed up until like 3 in the morning editing my next video. Remember your following and why they need to hear your message. The creators who succeed aren't the most talented or best looking or with the biggest teams. They're the ones who don't quit. They're the ones who learn to love the journey and not just the outcome. And they all struggled in the beginning. It took them way longer than they thought it would. But what kept them focused was they knew someone out there was looking for exactly their content, but hadn't found it yet. The truth is, you're not going to blow up overnight. The faster you internalize that, the easier it becomes putting in the reps, getting 1% better, and to keep nurturing your channel until your people find you. Remember the analogy. The videos you're making today are the foundation for your future success. The growth you can't see is still growth. So the next time you feel discouraged by 47 views or 0 likes, remind yourself that everyone starts out as a small, unknown channel. Your audience is out there waiting for you. I randomly met a guy while standing in line at a Starbucks that I later learned was Daryl Eves. He told me, every single person has a message for a larger audience, and there's no better place than YouTube. If you're watching this, put a comment below. Share one thing you're proud of with a video, regardless of how many views it got. And let's celebrate together. This is a new channel for me, and I'm on the same journey as you. And if you don't have a channel yet, or you're wondering if you should finally start, I believe there's literally no better time than right now. And it's because YouTube is not some mystery. There's nothing to figure out as long as you have the right strategy and patience to move forward. When I started over 3 years ago, I had to learn all this through trial and error. Looking back, I wish I had someone I could have trusted and would have guided me. Anyway, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you watching this one next.